a lot of moving parts, but a lot of energy, and I thought it was pretty good.
Thoughts on Coach Martin going to Colorado?
Yeah, he's gone.
What are your plans for the rest of the week as far as that position goes, and then what's kind of the outlook?
The outlook
long term.
Well, I've never discussed hiring, right?
Okay.
Anybody that we've hired. So I've had conversations with a number of people in the last 48 hours. So we're fine with where we are. Paul's really installing the defense right now, which he's going to have to install with the whole defense anyway. So his familiarity, actually being a secondary guy, gives us some flexibility here just during this week to not rush things. So the install here tomorrow in helmets, and then Thursday we'll be in full padded practice, and then Thursday night Friday night we'll mix it up a little bit with scrimmage, and then we'll go spring break. So, I look to probably have something done by this weekend.
When you sat down with Paul, what did you tell him you wanted, and how you wanted him to kind of try to fix this thing?
Well, we've known each other for a long time, and competed against each other as assistant coaches, as coordinators, as head coaches. Being in the Big 12 all that time. So I have a really good feel for how he does things, and we had that discussion. That where we are, getting our best players on the field, stopping the run and tackling is a premium, and not giving up a bunch of big plays like we did. So we're on the same page there. That's easier said than done, right? Everybody wants that, tackle well and don't let the ball over your head. That's a good place to start. So now he's been around. He's been a head coach. He's been a coordinator at a high level. He's done a lot. So our conversations were really. I'm familiar with scheme-based and everything else, but really about what fundamentally what we were going to change, and those were two things that we put a premium on.
When you guys found out that Coach Martin was leaving, did Paul just kind of step up and say, "Hey, I got this"?
We had a conversation as soon as I talked to Coach Martin, and then we've had conversations ever since then. I know that that was really, that conversation was a couple days ago. So we've had contingency plans since this weekend.
So you're making Grant available to talk today. Is he the guy going into this year? What are your expectations?
Well, we got two quarterbacks, only two that play the games, right? And we had one that actually won a game. So, if you go from that standpoint, I think you saw kind of the order of things right now. But we're competing. We got all the quarterbacks here because Will Plummer's here now, right? So he graduated early. He's in the mix. Kevin Doyle. But Grant, obviously, because he has played in games, has won a game. That's where it is right now. But it's competition across the board, right? So, he's the leader in the clubhouse right now, just based on what he's done in the past.
Which part of Grant's game are you hoping to see improve?
Huh?
Which part of Grant's game are you hoping to see improve?
Everything, right? That's what we want. We want to be better. It's not just Grant. We're talking about every position across the board. So, there's all kinds of things for a quarterback to improve in, right? And day to day, all kinds of things. He's a young guy. He's a freshman.
When you went back and looked at the tapes with him after the season, Grant, what did you like most about the way he was able to take care of the football?
He was able to do that. We moved the ball, when he was in there. So he was effective in the opportunities that he had. And so, like I said, I think we make a lot of the quarterback position, and rightfully so. But we had 8 different lineups in the offensive line last year. Right, which kind of limited some things that we could do with him, put a little bit more pressure on him, whether it's injury or that. So to have a stable offensive line right now, and to build some depth is going to be key to help him operate.
How much of a difference does it make for you or Noel when the quarterback is someone that you recruited and had a sort of long-term relationship versus someone that you inherited?
Well, I don't know that that's ever the case. What we want to do is get our best players on the field. And so whether, I've done this 3 times, and some guys I've inherited, some guys that were on the scout team. and didn't play and ended up starting. So, and winning a Heisman because he wasn't even playing. So, that's all part of it. What you play the cards that you're dealt, and whether you've recruited them or whether they're there, those two scenarios really don't matter. They don't really factor in.
Defensively, especially with the scheme change, what do you think about the overall depth?
We're still recruiting, right? So that's what it is, man. We're still recruiting. We've got some bigger guys, that are here. I think, with where we are and in that 3-4 scheme, that's probably one less of that body type on the field, and gives Harris a chance to really be a drop guy, rush guy off the edge, and then it gets all those guys in the field, and arguably the three talented guys are linebackers on the field, Pandy on the other side, and Harris on the other side, and Tony and Colin Schooler on inside. It's that's where our talent is, and then those big guys, rotation in there. But those four on the field give us speed, give us size, and give us experience.
Would you expect to add more players, whether junior college or transfer, between now and August?
There's a possibility, yes. I mean, we're like everybody else. Everybody's in the market right now, because of the portal. Some of the things we talked about, roster management becomes a whole nother ball of wax now because of grad transfers, because of the transfer portal. So, yeah, we've got some room for a couple guys, and we are exploring that market.
In the recruiting process right now, how often do you guys go into homes? We see a lot of guys that'll come in at the beginning of the second semester in January. Is that something that you as coaches are encouraging guys to do? Hey, if you can get here by January, it helps you.
Well, I think, in the past, it's, the majority of the guys that have come in January have played, and that's fine, whether it's a junior college guy, but in high school you get more and more guys, particularly quarterbacks that are leaving early. So, yeah, it's not for everybody, but I think it really depends on the guy and his maturity level, and what he feels like he can handle, because it's not easy to walk into a college program, Division I program in January, right? And really the toughest time of the year, it's not fall camp, it's like right now, when you have off-season conditioning, strength and conditioning. Then we go to spring football. You've been here 2 months, and everybody's right. That's tough on some guys, but there's more and more guys handling it, and it's proven to be a real factor in guys being ready for the fall.
We all saw Jamari in the booth out there during practice. What's his status for spring?
We'll see what happens. He's got a foot injury, so.
What was most impressive for you about what you saw from Lorenzo Burns last season at the quarterback position?
Well, I think we talked to Zoe, and he wore down during the year, right? He's one of the fastest guys on their team, but he's not a very big guy, and so over the course of the season, and I think he wore down a little bit. So we've talked in the off season about, hey, where's your weight, and picking up, because he's fast enough that 7, 8 pounds, and strength too. So that's one of his goals, and just so that he's got more substance at the end of the year, from the middle part of the year to the end of the year, because he's a good cover guy. He's got good instincts, he's got good hands, but I think he's learned that, hey, look, I got to sustain this thing, so I might need to be a little bit bigger. And if you look at him, he's working on it.
Do you feel like you have enough safeties? You didn't sign any safeties in this last class, and also some of the guys who entered the portal were safeties.
Yeah, I mean, you never feel like you have enough of anything, right? But there's always room for more. And we've got some body types at corner that can play safety, and so some bigger guys, right? So CY was out there today, and Scotty. And you look out there in the secondary, and you had CY and Scotty, and then at corner, Christian Roland Wallace and Lorenzo looks pretty good to me. But like you said, like every other position, we got to build depth, and we'll see that's what spring football's for.
What role do you envision for Brendan Schooler?
What's that?
What role do you envision for Brendan Schooler?
He's playing receiver, right? And we all know what kind of special teams guy he is too. So he's I think his value is he's not only a good player, but he's experienced. And, you know, I think what he's been really, really good at, he came into a situation, you know, it's a tough deal, just walk in here in January with expectations, and he's been a leader in the locker room. And guys have really kind of gravitated to him. And so he's got experience. He's played at a high level. He's won games, but he also is a leader, and he shows that. So he's a great addition to this football team.
So no defense?
Not right
that
now.
works for him? Not right now.
He's got to figure out what route to run right now. So I don't have time to get him over there. So but you know, I won't count that out.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thanks guys.